Hi, it's John with Vision Advisors, and welcome to another Insight with Vision. We're wrapping up the month of October where we've been talking about National Financial Planning Month, and I wanted to bring one more piece of information to you as we kind of bring this month to a close, but really continue the conversation about the importance of financial planning all through the year. And I want to talk about some recent information that I've come across related to fear and the issues that your clients, especially your retiree clients, are dealing with as it relates to outliving income. If you've been working in the boomer market and in the retiree market, you know as well as I do that one of the number one fears of consumers today as they're transitioning into retirement is the fear of outliving their income. And the last thing these individuals want to do is they don't want to be stuck in retirement, not being able to move forward financially because they've run out of money. Now, this has become a really significant issue as we've looked at the duration of time under which an individual is going to be living in retirement expand. We spent a lot of time in various episodes of Insight previously talking about that, but I want to share a little bit of information with you. I think we'll kind of bring that home as we wrap up this month of National Financial Planning Month. So let's jump into a couple of statistics I think would be important and talk about where there may be opportunity there. You know, as we look at a recent survey that was done by the Journal of Personal Finance, one of the things that they've uncovered is that half of today's retirees, now think about that, half of today's millions of retirees, 10,000 a day turning 65. I mean, you think about the boomer market, there are millions, tens of millions of retirees transitioning into or already into retirement. Half of them are afraid to use their savings. It's a concept that we refer to as spending reluctance. Now, why is that an issue for them? We know that as we look at neuroscience and understanding the brain and the process the brain goes through in making decisions, one of the areas that is of significant importance is what is called loss aversion bias. And in the primal brain, that center where decisions are made, there is a fear of loss, and that fear of loss is significant. And as a result of these individuals living longer and failing to plan, these longevity concerns are causing them to really question whether or not they can actually spend the money they've saved in retirement. As a result of the lack of information and being able to make an informed decision, paralysis sets in and spending reluctance becomes the outcome by which they live their life. Now, let me share with you a couple of quotable quotes from a Boston College Center of Retirement Research blog that was just put out September 26th of this year. Notice what it says. By the time middle income retirees are in their 80s, they still haven't touched about 3/4 of their savings. So all of the money they've saved over their working career, out of a fear of outliving their income, 3/4 of their savings that they've generated throughout their working years is still in their bank accounts because they haven't used it. That tells me that many of these individuals have been living below what they could have been living in terms of quality of life in retirement out of a fear of running out of money. This is one I also thought was interesting and I thought very well worth noting. Retirees with very modest savings are turning around and reinvesting around 1/3 of the money that they're required to withdraw using their required minimum distribution rules. So the money that they're having to take out, that Uncle Sam's requiring that they pull out, many of them are putting 1/3 of that back, some more, to be able to make sure that they don't outlive their income. What we're finding is many retirees today are not spending their money in retirement, fearing they're not going to have enough if they live a long, long time in retirement. Now, this spending reluctance is really manifesting itself in a number of ways. And one of the main reasons we're seeing this is the fact that many individuals today in retirement or getting ready to transition into retirement are not financially well prepared to retire. We know from a number of studies that we've seen over the years that around 15% of individuals that are in retirement really have a formal written plan to address retirement and are really confident that they're going to be able to do that. I'll touch on another statistic here again in just a minute that we talked about in our episode last week, where only 9% of consumers, according to a recent study that was engaged in, are confident and highly confident that they're going to have enough money to be able to survive retirement, no matter how long that lasts. Another issue arising with this spending reluctance issue that we see today is the unknown cost of future medical care. Medical costs are rising, and that's one of the major expense loads that we see consumers take on in retirement. Because as they get older, they're now living long enough for age-related illness and injury to take its toll. So not only are they worried about the unknown future cost of medical care and what that might be for them and how to pay for their Medicare supplement or their Med Advantage, out-of-pocket expenses that they may have, and more importantly, the fear of requiring some chronic long-term care coverage in the future and maybe not having planned for that, they're holding money in reserve in the event that were to happen to them. Another major fear that's been uncovered through a number of studies has been the fear of market ups and downs. And the fact that as retirees move into retirement, often many of them are not aware of opportunities where they can create guaranteed income in retirement that gives them an opportunity to participate in market upsides without the downside exposure risk. But they don't know what they don't know. And as a result of that, they may not engage in using the financial instruments and products that are available that can really take risk off the table, can take this spending reluctance off the table, because they can create a guaranteed, sustainable financial solution that's going to give them a paycheck every day for the rest of their life. Now, in the study that was done by the Journal of Personal Finance, over half of Americans agreed with this statement. The thought of my retirement portfolio balance going down over time brings me discomfort, even if a decline in value is a result of me spending money on my retirement goals. Again, that fear of the unknown, that pain of loss is so significant and so great that many retirees today aren't really enjoying the quality of life that they probably could. So, what are the observations? What are the takeaways from this particular study? Number one of the things we see in America today, and a number of studies continue to point this out, is there is a general lack of planning, especially when it comes to the area of retirement planning and creating guaranteed, sustainable sources of income that can provide that safety and that security to know that every month they're going to have a check to pay the bills and be able to use the rest of that money and segregate that money into different uses so that they can address the concerns that they have and know that there's a plan in place to do so. The second area that we see in terms of an observation is the fact that for many retirees today, there's very little use or no use of guaranteed income sources in retirement other than Social Security. Pensions, for the most part, have gone away, and unless your clients are using an annuity as a means to create guaranteed lifetime income, there are very few options out there that don't require that they either go into a low-risk investment that has no opportunity to grow, or maybe they're putting more money in exposure to risk in the market than really they're comfortable with. But because they don't know what they don't know, they don't realize there are other options that are available. And the third really takeaway, the observation for me, is there's a significant amount of fear that's in the marketplace today. Going back to the study of neuroscience and looking at how the brain makes decisions, when there is uncertainty and not enough information, the brain goes through mental paralysis. And as a result of that, when there's a significant amount of fear, then this fight or flight instinct that's inbred into all of us, that survival instinct that's a part of our primal brain, kicks in. And as a result of that, the choices we sometimes make are not logical, they're not rational, but they're purely emotional based upon fear. We have an opportunity as financial advisors to help mitigate and to bring peace and to help solve that pain and address those problems and take away that fear. But it's a conversation that we need to be having with more consumers. And just a reminder, if you don't remember that survey that was out that we talked about in the last episode, only 9% of Americans, according to an AIG Life and Retirement study done in April of 2019, only 9% say that they are extremely confident that they're going to have enough income to last throughout retirement. That means 91% of the retirees and pre-retirees you're coming across aren't that confident. And it's an opportunity for you to utilize National Financial Planning Month and the other 11 months out of the year to have an opportunity to start that very important client conversation. Now, one of the tools that we bring to the table is a sales and software solution called Your Retirement Reality, which allows us to sit down with you and a client to gather some basic information, and from that, help them map out a plan that will identify and create those guaranteed sustainable sources of income for the rest of their life, will help them be able to set aside and segregate dollars to be able to address other concerns that they may have, so that they have a better opportunity to know what their retirement reality really looks like, to remove the fear from the equation and give them an opportunity to have true peace of mind as they transition into retirement. And even if they're already there, we can sit down with the assets they have remaining and show them a plan that gives them a better opportunity to not just survive retirement, but to thrive in it and really enjoy all that they've anticipated doing their entire working years. For more on that or anything else that we can help you with, we'd love to have an opportunity to further a conversation with you at Vision Advisors. Our number here is 1-800-505-8489. Again, 1-800-505-8489. You can visit us at visionadvisorsinc.com. Don't forget to check out our Facebook and our LinkedIn pages, where every day we're sharing insights, consumer studies, conversation starters, and other tools that can help you continue to be more effective at what you do. Thanks for joining us for this issue of Insight with Vision. I'm John Terry. Have a great day.